We now turn our attention to consumer affairs. This channel is intended to review certain companies, commend companies for good service, but also point out companies that have fallen short of a reasonable standard, or companies that employ a service or offer a service to the market, which is often found lacking. The first company we're going to look at is Vinted. So Vinted have a lot of adverts on YouTube, a lot of adverts on social media generally, and it's a good website generally in terms of finding bargains. You're going to find a good range of bargains. You're going to find a good range of prices. You're going to find very expensive things. Louis Vuitton is on there. Other designer names, the biggest names are on there. But you're also going to find cheap stuff. You're going to find stuff from Primark, used stuff, from whatever clothing outlet you can think of. So it goes from a full range. You can start at £1 and it works all the way up to, it can be hundreds, could be thousands, depending on what somebody's selling. And it's good in that way, but it's very poor in terms of customer service. So you'll have access to a lot of bargains, a lot of people listing things, clearing out their wardrobe, but then if something goes wrong, you've got an issue. They are very weird in how they work. They don't give you human beings to talk to. There's no phone line. It's all done via message. So you're messaging a bot, automated bot, and they send out scripted automated messages. Everything seems to be about, they must be trying to keep staff levels very low. They don't want much human interaction. They don't want to pay many salaries. So a lot of AI is employed and a lot of automated bots. It's very frustrating. It's very hard to get matters resolved quickly. And one particular thing they do is they claim to have a system which is anti-counterfeit and anti-fake items. So there's a lot of designer items out there. Loads of fakes get sold on that page. So the only defence you truly have is to scrutinise the pictures of whoever's selling and check thoroughly. Have a look at it, look at the tags, look at the wash labels and see if the thing is genuine with your own eye, because Vinted claim to have an AI bot that weeds out counterfeit ads and removes them from the site, but there's loads of fake stuff on there. There's some people who declare it, and so that's pretty much fair enough. They'll say, oh, it's a replica shirt or fake shirt, or they bought it in Turkey or whatever. They'll write something in a description that lets you know. There's a lot of people that don't. Either they don't know that it's fake and they just put it up as a genuine item under a designer name, and you've got some people that are just straight up putting a fake up under a designer name and trying to sell it for proper money. But either way, Vinted say that these counterfeit items are not allowed on their page, but loads get through. And I've bought things on there that have turned out to be fake. The thing with Vinted is they're not very good in terms of returns. If you have an issue, they basically, once you receive the item, they give you 2 days to check over the item and click a button that says everything is okay, and at that point the funds for the sale that were agreed are transferred to the seller. But if you have an issue, you can raise an issue, and Vinted won't do much. I think they'll look into it a little bit, or their automated system will look into it. And essentially, if you want to send the thing back, you've got to pay for your own postage. So you have to understand that when you're buying Vinted, if anything goes wrong, there's no onus on the seller to give you a free return. The onus is on the buyer to get the item back to the seller, and then at that point the seller will be asked to offer a refund. So you have to be aware of that. Sometimes you'll buy something, you'll get it and it's fake and you didn't pay very much, and you look at it and say, you know what, bought it cheap and it's fake. And Vinted's approach is they tend to say to you, oh, I'm sorry, this deal didn't work out. So they like to think that you'll find other things that are all right and you'll have to accept some deals that go wrong. And that's a very rare way of doing business. I don't know any other company who has that attitude. There's other online retailers that take it a lot more seriously. Vinted pretty much just buyer beware, and the customer service is appalling. It's very frustrating. So do bear that in mind when you actually click and buy something. Be sure that you're happy with it and happy that it's authentic to your own standards, because if you get it and it's a fake, you're in trouble. I bought an item on Vinted and to me it looks genuine. I received it. There's items the same as this particular item online being sold by reputable online retailers. you know, as a first sale, not reselling sites. And yeah, it seems genuine. Everything checks out on it. Quality is decent. But then Vinted decided, or its automated bots decided that it was fake. So what they did, they sent me a warning. And what they do, Vinted, if they're not satisfied that yeah, what happened to me was I advertised this item. It didn't fit properly. There was nothing wrong with it. It was genuine. I went to advertise it, and their automated bot flagged it up as being counterfeit. And it's not counterfeit. As I said, it's on with reputable online retailers. The very same shirt. The quality is good. The tags check out. It's real. But their automated system, which is not a human being, has looked at it and decided it's fake. So they put a block on my account. And then, when you're in this situation, there's not much you can do. Everything Vinted does to you, you have to accept. There's no human being to talk to. There's no complaining that's going to get through. They stonewall you after a while. After you've contacted them through the bot and the bot's decided that your item's fake, that's it. So, and there's no way through. You know, you try and contact the CEO, you try and contact various email addresses you find. I think there's I think Vinted at vinted.co.uk is one of their emails. The owner of the company, I can't remember his name, Joustas something, I'd probably pronounce that wrong, but you can get his email address. It's online, Joustas at Vinted. No one replies when you send to that. The bot stonewalls you after a while and says, have we resolved your issue, or do you need more help? You click I need more help and nothing happens. It kind of just cycles through and blocks you, stonewalls you. You're not getting any further response from you. So their system decided the item that I bought on their very site, bear in mind I bought this on Vinted, and they claim they don't have fakes on their site. They're accusing me of then selling the same item and calling it a fake. So that doesn't make sense, does it? So it's real when I bought it, but when I try and sell it, it's fake now. And bear in mind the item is not fake, it's a genuine item. So it's a completely frustrating situation. I've got well over 100 positive feedbacks on Vinted. So the people that have bought from me have been happy. And I've also bought from a lot of other people that I've been happy with my purchases. The odd time I haven't been. Most of the time I've chosen to swallow it though, because as I say, you'll be paying to return the item if you're not happy. And you just have to be careful what price you're paying. If you've got a good price, then sometimes you have to just take it on the chin. Vinted aren't going to help you. So it's too much hassle dealing with them. So if I get an item I'm not happy with, say there's a hole in it that wasn't declared or it's fake or whatever, you just have to swallow it. So bear that in mind. Not everything you purchase is going to work out, and you'll probably have to get on with it if you're not happy. So bear that in mind. Tread carefully. Customer service is completely useless, nonsensical, illogical, frustrating. No phone line, no human interaction. So I'm trying to contact them now to try and have a human being look at the evidence I provided. I think they said send copies of all washing tags and show the quality of the shirt, send photographs and all that. Done all that, but no human beings looking. I've just got a bot telling me no, no, no. Computer says no, and that's it. So it's a very frustrating company to work with. I think it's actually a disgrace how they do things. The way they make money is when you buy an item, there's a buyer's fee. So they charge you 70 pence plus 5% of the item value. So whatever you're buying, there's going to be, and it can be quite a lot. If you're buying an item £50 plus, you're probably giving them a fiver. You know, and that's how they make their money. They do advertising on the site as well. I'm sure they get paid for their adverts, but essentially you pay a buyer's fee, and that's meant to protect you. But as I've sold you, if you buy something, you're not protected by Vinted's so-called buyer's guarantee or whatever they call it. It's just a money grab for them. It's a profit centre for them. So you'll be paying to return it at your own cost. And also, you know, sometimes they don't help at all. It's very important if you do have a problem and you want to raise an issue, you want to go through the stress of dealing with Vinted, you raise something within 2 days of receiving the item. You don't press everything is okay and you say I have an issue, and then it's got an automated series of menus that will talk you through, oh it's damaged or the item hasn't arrived or whatever. So you have to raise it within 2 days of coming. If you don't do that, then they don't want to hear. So even if an item you bought's fake and you've only worked that out 2 days after you've bought it, it's too late, because they'll release the money to the seller and they're not interested after that. So they do things in their own way. Lousy customer service. I'd like to hear other people's experiences and whether you find it frustrating. I would say the good thing is it does have a good range of bargains, but it does have a lot of downside as well. Useless customer service. So please give your experiences. in the comments. Please give any email addresses where you've got through to them or been able to raise an issue, because most people will end up just getting stonewalled by the automated system. You continue to raise an issue, you don't get any responses, and they stonewall you. It's the most ridiculous customer service I've seen from any company. But bear that in mind. Let us know what your experiences are, and I'll catch you on the next video.